Raw man and bro man.
What's happening, man?
What's happening, man? I'm still pumped from that fight.
I see you ready to fight, man. I see you ready to throw down.
Yeah, you better start moving your head, man. You're gonna get caught.
I mean, that's pretty much how they were. Roy was like,
Yeah, man. But
oh man,
that was one hell of a fight, and I don't, that goes for both of those fights, whether it was a Tyson and Jones or that vicious KO of our man Nate and Jake Paul. There,
Nate, wake up!
What was the bigger story? Was it Tyson, Jones?
I think leading into it, definitely Tyson Jones. But after that fight, it was like, what's his name? Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, he was 20 pounds heavier than Nate, and he's taller than Nate. He has more reach than Nate. I mean, like, that was just a horrible matchup to begin with. But I guess Nate challenged him.
Ooh.
And then night. And then before the thing, Nate said, I'm the greatest athlete that ever lived, or something like that. I'm like,
you're gonna need a little bit more than athleticism.
Back to bite you.
You might need a little bit of boxing, Nate. Don't lead with. Let me give you some advice. Don't lead with your face. You might want to lead with your fists, right?
Who trained you, Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What it was a midget or somebody with no arms or something.
Man, goodness, man, it was just insane. I mean, he was just. I think once he got hit the first time and fell down, his pride was hurt. He kind of rushed in, no game plan.
Yeah, you knew it was over for him after that. Unfortunately, you could see that he had very little boxing, and after the first time he got dropped, whatever boxing he had deteriorated.
Yeah.
And that was...
Man, who the hell trained Nate Robinson to fight this fight? You're going to somebody taller, probably naturally walks around heavier than you.
He probably found him on Craigslist, man.
You for this fight, huh? It just doesn't make
someone from Craigslist, I think.
The Craigslist trade.
Someone that looks worse than that the coach from the first Rocky,
He's like, I'm gonna get you together, man. We can win this fight.
Yeah, but
that's what happens when you go in, man. You don't want to underestimate anybody in the ring, for one.
No.
And for two, it's like you got your strategy, but then you need to have a backup plan too. If this happens, what am I gonna do to make sure I recover? I mean, because I think they were going. I'm not sure if they went 8 rounds. I know the Tyson fight was 8 rounds, but you had time to recover. But you just ran and rushed in. You gave him the knockout.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a shame for Nate, but Jake Paul, a young kid, looked good. He's a YouTube podcaster, reality star, and I mean, he called out McGregor. Who else did he call out after the fight?
Oh, he called out McGregor. I don't know.
Somebody else.
He called out Jake. Stop it.
Yeah, stop it.
It's
Stop
the wrong
it.
person. Connor will get you. He's gonna get you because he's not coming in with that stupid stuff like Nate.
No.
This fight really proves nothing. That's why it's an exhibition. But I know he's riding high off that knockout. I seen the way he was sitting after the fight. He was just up there chilling, like.
Oh, you and I would be too.
Then he bought a Nate Robinson jersey, and put.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that was supporting him or mocking him or just kind of leaving it in between. So you're just tormenting the guy and he doesn't know what you were doing to him. That's what it was.
Yeah,
let's get on to the main event here, with Tyson and Roy. And obviously they weren't in their prime.
Yeah.
And so you just gave it to me. What did you think of the fight?
All
in all, after the fight was over, what were you thinking?
After the fight was over, I was satisfied. I thought, that's kind of what I wanted out of the fight. I know we talked about it a little bit before. I didn't want anybody to get severely hurt.
Yeah.
And, you got a little bit of Tyson. He was on the attack. He was hitting the body. And Roy, he gave you a little bit of him. He kind of played around a little bit. And, then he jabbed, but that jab wasn't as quick as it used to be, snapping back and more like was trying to keep Tyson at a distance. But, I think I was satisfied. How'd you feel about it?
Well, okay, how did I feel about it? Well, it was good. It was great to see the card on. I thought the card was a great card. everything looked great. Ring looked great. Background was great. I actually ordered the pay-per-view because
Okay.
I didn't want to have a problem. You know what I mean, with trying to grab a stream or whatnot. And I really enjoyed the Snoop Dogg concert. I'm not sure if you caught that one. I thought Snoop did a great.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought Snoop did a great job. Um, and in terms of the fight itself, it was, I think, it was great to see um, Tyson and Roy Jones get into the ring again.
Definitely.
And I think that what you saw there is pretty much what would happen if Tyson and Roy were in their prime. That Tyson would bully him around.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think
Yeah.
that we would see, and that's what we did see.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is that really they weren't going all out for sure,
Yeah.
because I saw times when Roy would do something and Mike countered him, and Mike did that thing where he ducks and then he rolls in for a punch,
Yeah.
and I saw Roy's head was there, and I thought, oh man, he's about to flatten him out, and
Yeah.
he didn't throw the punch.
Definitely. I was gonna wait till you get there and say that. It's like, yeah, it's exactly what we expected. But Tyson was not throwing that knockout blow.
And he
He was
had
going
it a
to the
few
body,
times.
and he was never going to the top. And Roy was ready to go. You can see at the end of the fight when they were talking, they said Roy was ready to go. Roy almost passed out then. He was breathing real heavy. He was ready to go. So, but I think they probably had an agreement. Hey, don't be knocking me out. This ain't really a fight, dude. I'm just trying to get you. You gonna make most of the money anyway. Let me make some money and get the hell out of here.
George Foreman was actually tweeting during the fight. Did you catch any of those tweets?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, let's actually, well, let's take a look at that's what let's so the fans can see, that our viewers can see what George Foreman was tweeting. But there he goes, just Roy Jones. I guess he's tweeting after every round.
Yeah.
And they go,
You
Mike.
know, go ahead.
No, go ahead. And
No, when I read his stuff, I mean, I think in his opinion, because him being a power puncher, if the power puncher is not able to land that knockout blow or really do, I think he was looking at it like that. Both of them were running their game. So he's like, Roy's doing good. Roy's doing good. But Roy, he was tying. Now, he was tying Tyson up, but I think that was also part of just the exhibition too. But like Tyson would land one to the body and then he kind of get close to him. But I wouldn't have gave him points for that, I think it's effective, but I wouldn't give him points to say he leaned towards a win. But I can see how both people see it.
Tyson doesn't fight like he's 50.
Yeah.
He's in too much shape for Roy.
Yeah.
2 more rounds to go. Tyson wants the KO, but he wasn't looking for the KO. So what's Foreman seeing that I'm not? That he's going to just get a... He's not looking for the one-shot KO, but if you got him in a flurry, maybe it'd be okay. Is that what you think?
I don't think he wanted the KO at all because he could have locked. He could, like you said, there was a couple of times Jones' head was right there. Pow, his chin was right there. Even that uppercut, that vicious uppercut that Mike used to catch people with. So, the one thing I tell you, one thing was interesting is how they came out, the songs that came out too.
Yeah.
Roy Jones came out to a song, his son made the beat, and I heard him say, "Y'all must have forgot," which is like one of his old songs, or something like that. And then Tyson came out to a song that had like him saying something in the background. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Usually he comes out to Tupac.
Yeah,
he has before. Ambitions as a rider.
I feel like that's what he should have came out to. I feel like that would have been just right for him to come out to. Because I mean, it's been a while since he's been in the ring.
Yeah.
That could be a tribute to his fallen brother.
Yeah.
Once again, I feel like that would have been the right energy to come out to.
Yeah. You know what I like, man? If you position your head just exactly in the right spot, it seems like that lion's mane is like hair on your head. There you go, right there, man.
Right there. Oh, yeah.
There you go, right
man.
there.
It feels good, too. I remember when I had hair like that.
Let me
It's
just
been a
go
while.
ruffle all
Actually,
that
is a
hair.
picture. That's actually a picture of me when I was younger.
Like that.
I'm telling you, what I'm trying to do though, you don't understand. I shaved my head, pretty bald headed, because I'm trying to get ready for this Tupac role. I said if they let Nick Cannon play, why don't they just let me play it? I mean,
Oh shit! You went and did that now.
might as well let me hop up in it, you know.
Yeah, could they have picked a softer rapper? They should have just maybe they should have did. I guess Will Smith said no. You know what I mean?
Man, why you gotta diss Nick like that?
I don't know, man. But I mean,
It just
I
don't
would.
feel real. You know, I feel like you can find somebody. It doesn't even have to be a rapper. It
Yeah,
shouldn't be a name person. It shouldn't be some with those big roles. You
unknown,
really
an
don't want somebody
unknown.
that you know. You want an unknown, like they did the Biggie movie. They got somebody that kind of okay puts you in the mind of Biggie a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, I thought I heard that Sean Kingston wanted to be Biggie in the movie. I don't know if he ever got a chance. I thought it would have made sense. Kind of looks like him. Never happened.
Yeah.
But going back to Nick Cannon and Tupac, now that's a Netflix thing.
Okay.
And Netflix has got their data and all that, and they probably figure if we get Nick Cannon playing Tupac, more people are going to watch than if we bring a nobody in, right? And Nick Cannon's probably like, I knew Pac. He was my, producers, wives, sisters, friends,
Man, it's crazy
Yeah.
how many people said they got like a call from Tupac right before he died. I'm like, was he just making calls like the like for the final 10 minutes? Yo,
Yeah.
he had just called me and he told me that we was gonna do a whole album together.
It was a broadcast message on BBM, right? Remember back then on BBM where you
And like,
broadcast to
what?
everyone?
Yeah, he was, he really wanted to manage my career. We talked about
Yeah.
that a lot.
But
I'm
just
like, I don't know who's telling the truth, anymore.
going back to Nick Cannon, do I want to see Nick Cannon playing Tupac in a movie on Netflix? I mean, if I detect that that's Nick Cannon, it's not going to work for me. I mean, he's going to have to
Yeah.
really dramatically change his looks. And what am I going to learn from that movie that I don't already know and hasn't already been given out in like books and documentaries and all that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless this thing is like co-written by Snoop Dogg and like, the Outlaws or whatever, like, or the people really close to him, which
No,
it may be.
yeah, I highly doubt it. I think they see. I don't know. I don't know, man. I highly doubt it though. I think because Nick Cannon, he's. I mean, he's a smart guy. He's been around Hollywood. He's done some other things. I think he's helped people get roles. So not to knock his talent and his hustle, but I feel like you got to understand, like when some roles are above you. Like he tried to play Richard Pryor. I mean, and I'm not knocking what the guys do, but he's just too well known at this point to really play them roles, and he's not really like an actor that you take serious.
Not
You're
at
not
all.
seeing him. He's not like a Will Smith or Denzel. You're like, oh, he's in this movie, and I'm going to forget what this person's acting name is, and I'm going to be starting them calling him Tupac. That ain't going to happen. You're going to be like, I could be wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say this might be the worst documentary they ever made.
It could be. It could be. Man, side note, if Chadwick was still alive, I think he would do an awesome role on Tupac, but not able to.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, no, that would be awesome. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, brother.
Somebody's knocking at
Brother,
my
but
door.
definitely funny. Definitely makes you laugh. Nick Cannon, one of the softest rappers out there. Where he had that whole, America's Got Talent. From America's Got Talent to Tupac. Death Row from like,
Oh man,
Judging America's
who's
Got
gonna play
Talent.
Snoop?
From
Who's gonna
dating
play
Mariah
Snoop?
Carey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And now he's playing Tupac. That's funny. He's a funny man. That other funny man we were talking about, Mr. Chappelle,
Dave Chappelle, yeah.
Dave Chappelle. What you were telling me a little about that before we came on?
Well, he was talking. They put all his stuff on Netflix. They put the Chappelle show on the Netflix, and I was actually shocked and surprised to see it because it hasn't popped up for. I mean, that was years ago, and you think if that was something that was going to be there, it would have been on there.
That was
So
some
I said, "Oh man, that's part
classic
of the
stuff.
deal. Classic stuff, yeah." So you feel like the way people are attacking and paying for content nowadays, that would be something that they would have been done bought and been on there. So come to find out, Dave Chappelle didn't even want it on there. You know, and he told them they didn't have the right to do it, and they didn't. His agent said they couldn't do anything about it. So, make a long story short, he called Netflix and told them, you know, this makes me very unhappy that you guys are posting this stuff that I mean, obviously he had a contract, but he feels it was, you know, it wasn't a righteous contract.
I think it
And
was something like he wasn't getting paid for it to
yeah,
appear on there.
yeah.
Like it wasn't his choice that it was
No,
on Netflix.
I think contractually they own it. Comedy Central or whoever they dealt with own that content and that material. So
And he's
they
not
get
getting
paid for
paid
it.
anything for it. So it's like a loophole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a loophole. And then also he said in this 18-minute thing, he said that once he left the show, he lost everything. So that kind of voids everything. So they get to dominate whatever happens. You know, they get to dictate whatever happens would be a better word.
Yeah.
So, but how
Nice to
many
see,
artists? Go ahead. What'd you say?
nice to see them be loyal to the artist though. Netflix.
Oh,
Rather than
Netflix, yeah. Well, they got a big contract with him, and you know, so and that makes their rep look really good too. It's like, hey, man, I'm sticking with this guy. Hey, you know, we might lose out on some money from dealing with you guys and people streaming this, but you know, we got his new content and we respect this man, so we're going to follow through. And it's really like a partnership, you
don't
know.
want
And
to sever that bridge.
you don't want to sever that bridge, you know. And it comes about down to ethics and treating people with some just like they're your family. You know, when
Yeah.
you have these businesses and these corporations, you know, you
Yeah.
wouldn't want somebody to do that to your grandmother. You know, they're stealing everything she got. There have been so many people in these industries that have been screwed over because of their contracts, and they get them when they're young, so they feed them fame and no money. I mean, you seen the thing with Taylor Swift too, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, Taylor Swift, exactly. Tell me about that. I think you got a little bit more inside scoop on that one.
Well, you know, you know, she had been struggling to get her publishing back, and they even had a thing where they weren't even allowing her to play some of these songs, and then her fans got to going crazy and threatening.
Damn.
So then she was able to perform her songs, some of her old songs, and I guess she was in negotiation. From what I understand, it would or thought she was in negotiation with Scooter Braun, but all the all the things that she was getting back from their lawyers and their attorney was just saying, you can't say anything bad about us. You can't say anything bad about us, but never a negotiating price where she can buy her masters back. Then she wakes up one morning and the master sold to someone else, another company for $300 million. You see. So, but she
Really?
claims that she was never offered the opportunity to buy her masters
Well,
back.
obviously it's 300 million. She wouldn't have the money to buy her masters back. So they did, you know what I mean? That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but I mean, you know, she's a very popular person. I mean, I imagine she got some powerful friends. Maybe they can put something together and
Maybe.
put that up because it's probably going to be worth more than that. Because she tries to buy it back now, it's at least going to be 500 million because the people going to want their money back if they get it. But if they bought it for that much, I
Man,
highly doubt they're going to give it up. You know, she's a very popular artist.
she is. Have you seen the Netflix series? I'm not sure if it's a Netflix series exclusively, but Black Mirror?
I've seen some of it.
And there's that episode with Miley Cyrus where they literally just they've got her on drugs, and then they use a program or some type of technology to just hack into her brain, and they're using drugs or whatever to keep her in a coma, and they're using this technology to go into her brain, write the songs. It's simulating her voice, and basically she's a veggie, and they're telling the world that, you know, she's in a medical coma, but in reality they're extracting music from her. It's very extreme, but it's just
Mm,
like a little bit of a, you know, it gives you an idea of what's actually happening on a smaller scale in the industry. And leading up to that, in the Black Mirror episode, they were keeping her sedated with these drugs or whatnot
mm,
to control her mood because
yeah,
she really didn't like what she was doing. But
yeah.
the pills were kind of changing her mood, dumbing her down, and kind of keeping her on the job
Wow, wow. I gotta
performing.
check that episode out. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I love when you can do things artistically that, just tell a story about what's going on. Because I imagine that they're giving them, whether the drug be real drugs, cocaine, pills, alcohol, or fame be that drug, they're giving them something as a trade for their rights and their money and stuff like that. And when you're young and you've never been exposed to this glamour, this illusionary world, then you can be quickly led astray. So it's like, I want to be famous, but they don't know really what they're giving up. It's just like some people, they have 100,000 Instagram followers and they don't really even know why they got these followers. People are just following them, and but money, they're like, nobody's buying any of their products, nothing like that. Nothing, it doesn't convert because they're living like an illusionary
A lot of
world
fake profiles out there too.
Huh?
A lot of fake profiles out there too.
A lot of fake profiles out there. So just a lot of fake things, and so it's not a real world. It's not a real measure of success. And the same as fame, because we're looking at people like Taylor Swift and Dave Chappelle, and we're saying, wow, man, these people have made it, they got it, but who knew that they were just stiff so bad?
Look at Mariah Carey. I mean, what we're learning about her past now. I mean, we talked about that a couple of episodes ago, maybe, but the cocaine and the drug use, and they just show you the perfect image. That's why social media is most people only show the good side of them on social media.
Refresh me on the Mariah Carey thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know too much about it. She apparently wrote a book about it or something.
Okay,
and
wow.
Apparently cocaine use at a very early age.
Wow.
And it was just, we never saw that image.
Wow. Isn't it crazy how some people get so demonized for drug abuse, and then other people that we don't even know about it? Like, you'll get one
artist want us
to
know that about her.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey is, a marketing.
Doing that little powder. She's like, all I want for Christmas is some snow.
She wasn't just putting powder on her face.
Shit. Yeah. All I want for Christmas. That's how she hit them high notes. She was in a different zone. She went to a different dimension.
The spiritual dimension.
I know Nick Cannon was like, man, speaking of, Nick and Mariah. Nick, now you need to come
and Eminem too. Wasn't it Eminem as well? No?
Yeah, I think she did Eminem.
And the voice recordings on his songs at the end.
Yeah, well, she was definitely something. She was doing something because she sounded high as hell.
Definitely, man. Definitely. But with social media, like I was saying, you only see the good, and whenever you see the bad, somebody actually says, you know what, I'm going to be real. I'm going to post the bad. Yeah, it can get a lot of likes, but a lot of people are like, wow, you crazy for posting that on there. You keep that to yourself, or that's, don't put your, air your dirty laundry out in public, or whatever it is, or it's a double-edged sword, man. It's tough.
It is. It's mostly ego. It's ego. Social media, the web, is a lot of ego. All these sites is just people just flashing their ego. And it's scary because even somebody that's not, or somebody that's somewhat aware and conscious, so to speak, can get trapped in this illusionary world. We already got so many things going on, but the social media aspect really feeds the ego like no other. Think about some of the things you see on some of these people pages and stuff like that. So you can understand from an entertainment standpoint, and somebody that has a little fame, they really feed into it, because they're like, because everybody's just like worshiping them. And so they feed into it more, and to the point where they're even lost. Kanye West. See?
There you go. Drive you over the edge. But definitely two different worlds out there, man, social media. And I don't, in terms of Facebook, I don't use Facebook a lot. I heard only old people use Facebook now. Like, I use it for messaging. It's got a good messaging platform. But in terms of like sharing stuff and like and consuming content, no, I don't use Facebook. Instagram, it's a little bit cooler scrolling. It's mostly YouTube that I'm into. The trending videos. I want to know what's going on in the world. And that's
definitely.
I'm not all about the statuses and the selfies and whatnot.
Yeah. I would say YouTube too. YouTube is one of the biggest platforms out there. Shout out to YouTube if you guys want to do anything with us, make it a sponsor or something. I don't know. But you guys, but YouTube, yeah, it's one of the biggest. People go on there to get their news, their information, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it definitely has in some senses, it definitely has a more of a mentally mature audience, I guess.
No, I totally agree with you, brother. I totally agree with you.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my man. What else we got kicking here? It's these dark, gloomy days.
Man,
You know
it's
what I
you
mean?
know,
We
it's
never got a chance to talk about the full moon. Did anything going on there? Would you have a good full moon weekend? I didn't get too much sleep.
man, I ain't been getting no sleep for the last 3 days, dude.
There you go,
So
right
I got these
there.
damn glasses on. I don't have. I've
That was
just
the
been
full
so
moon,
tired.
brother. That was
I believe.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I just ain't been getting no sleep whatsoever. I'm like, man, I am
There you
exhausted.
go, right there. Once again, you're feeling the effects of the full moon. Don't worry, you'll be good now. It's all over. Yogi Infinite says you're gonna be back to normal.
It all is up from here.
It's all we got.
You been watching The Mandalorian? You watching The Mandalorian?
I haven't been watching The Mandalorian.
That is good stuff,
I've been
man.
hearing a lot about it.
I dig it. I fell asleep on the first season and I thought I watched it, but then I went back and watched it again. I'm like, I ain't seen none of this.
Yeah? Is it
You ever
something
watch you ever watch a series and then watch it again and like, I haven't watched any of this. Right?
That kind of shows you what your attention span is, right?
Yeah.
I was sleeping through the full episode. Like you got the
Yes.
intro and then you napped and then you
Yeah.
heard the outro music and you got awake and
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit. How much of that did I actually catch?
Yeah, I didn't catch that. Well, the
And then
first
you go
time
back, you know what the funny thing is? When you think you didn't watch it at all, and you go back and watch it, and you're like, no, I've seen it.
I remember all this. I remember this.
And you see almost all of it, and you're like, what the fuck? I slept through this. You fucking subconsciously just took it all in, right?
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I just, and that's kind of scary in a way, but you're like,
yeah,
all right, at least I don't have to watch that again.
The driver. We got to do another episode on the subconscious mind. We got to go deep.
We
got to go deep for the people for the new year.
Let's take it back to the basics for the new year and get more into these deeper topics. Sound good?
Definitely,
man. 30 days left in 2020. We got to do our 2020 recap episode. So let's load up the content for that one, and we'll literally talk about we'll rank the most. What can I say? The most fucked up events of 2020.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we make a list and get them all, because I'm sure we forgot about some of them, and there's a couple more on the way probably.
Definitely, we need to figure out how to. We should stream that. Try to stream that live.
Let's do it. Let's
stream
do
it live
on
YouTube.
And we'll get some of the other guys on too.
Get some of the other people on. They'll tell them, let their people know they're gonna be on air, so we can do. We want to go out with 2020 with as much energy as we can. We want to take everybody with us into the new dimension. We're going on. We're leaving this old paradigm and we're making a shift, and we're going into a whole new dimension. Are you ready for the new frontier?
The spiritual dimension, brother.
Spiritual dimension, man. I was telling one of the brothers today, I was like, man, you got to realize that this is a spiritual battle, man. Quit fighting with people. Quit arguing with people, Quit letting, one of my trainers was telling me how a friend of his, a lady friend of his, is dating this guy, and the guy really don't like him, and just, I've said, so you could tell her a little bit things to try to help him out, because obviously something happened in his life where he's insecure about it. But I'm like, there's no reason for you to fight that. Quit fighting with people. You're a spiritual being, man. Just let it go. And everything is as it should be. And when you go to that next level, if they're meant to be there with you, they'll follow.
Yeah, brother. And when you're saying it with that crazy hairstyle, I'm totally feeling it. You're like a real guru. I told stop living in the physical world. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's why I talk about like meditating or just taking a little bit of time to just be still, stop intaking information, and you can access different parts of the mind, enter that spiritual dimension. A while ago, we did a little something where, I think it was off air, but we did a little bit of a meditation, and you were experiencing some some, what can I say? You had a little bit of a vision or something like that. You know what I mean? People need to
Yeah,
be more connected more with that dimension of their life. And if you
definitely.
can do that and bring it in to your physical world, that's the way to go. I feel sorry for anyone living purely in the physical world. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like people that have something in their mind but aren't able to make it a reality
make it
in the real
manifest.
world. I wish I
Yes,
had this. I wish I had
yes,
a wife or a girlfriend. I wish I had a better job, but they have no idea how to manifest that from the
yeah.
mind to reality.
From
You know what
mind
I
to
mean?
matter. We might have to do a lecture
That
on
is
that.
a spiritual process. How do you do that? How do you manifest? Right?
Man, we might have to do a lecture on that. That might be exclusive. This can be a podcast.
Manifestation 101.
Yeah,
Your instructors,
from mind to
Yogini
matter.
Infinite and Exalted 888.
888.
And
Your
Exalted, the
roadmaps is
Exalted
it
One.
from mind to matter. I'm liking that, man, because I mean it's real deal stuff, and people need to know how important that mind is and the vision. Where there's no vision, that people will perish. You know, you need to hold something in mind and begin to plan out a vision for yourself in the new year too, as
Maybe we
well. So,
should focus a whole season on that. The manifestation season, where that's the topic for the whole season. How to make if you see
yes,
it in your mind, how to make it occur in the world, because it's not as easy as it seems. Not anyone
yes,
can do that.
yes. I like that so much because I feel like that's a topic that would obviously help me, but it helped both of us as we go through the process with the people. Because
Yeah,
that's something that I would really look forward to doing. Maybe we'll do that in January. Maybe we'll kick that off from Mind to
that's sounds
Matter,
good to me.
the whole season on breaking down how you know, make things slow down and come down into the physical vibratory
And we'll bring
frequency.
on some different guests, experts in the subject, weigh in and really bring some value to our viewers, get everyone manifesting. There you go. I love it. I love it. That's what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it,
I'm
man. That's been a good episode.
I'm in it to win it, man. Let's get it. Yeah.
I'm in it to win it as well, brother. I'm winning. Brahman and Broman. Another dope episode. Just hashed out the next season, so you've got to stay tuned. Thank you for being with us. There's people that watch every episode out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is, man. We have some followers out there.
We gotta get up the podcast link onto the link too for the people that might be just listening in their cars too. But
Exactly.
yeah, man, we love you. We appreciate anybody that's out supporting. And
Yeah.
we love your feedback on the show. We would even love some of you guys to come on the show and chat with us.
Every episode I have a few people tell me I listened to that whole podcast. And I know there's other people out there as well.
Definitely. That's good, man. That's good.
That is good. All right, Brahman and Broman, we signing off now. Peace.